There is nothing that could have come out of Aaron Rodgers' mouth, nothing that should be able to offend you to that level as a grown human being.
What he said wasn't even that big of a deal.
No, because it was taken as if he was implying that Jimmy Kimmel had anything to do with Epstein's Island.
But if you listen to it, it doesn't sound like that at all.
No, what he was saying is
he's just not going to like the list coming out because apparently some of his friends are affiliated with Epstein. And guess what? They are.
Right, but he wasn't in any way insinuating that he was on the list. He was referencing something that had happened earlier between the two of them wherein Kimmel didn't want a list to come out. So he was just referencing it like, oh, well, Kimmel's not going to like this. Not saying he was on it.
But the way that
oh my God.
The way that Kimmel reacted to it was like of a guilty man. It was so...
And I don't think that.
No,
I have no opinion on Jimmy Kimmel whatsoever. I
just think Jimmy Kimmel's a yes man of the highest order.
I cannot fathom being that upset about something that Aaron Rodgers said about you. By the way, in passing, it wasn't even the entire principle of that conversation he was having with. I saw part of it, but like, it's like, how self-absorbed are you? That's sort of like Debbie thinking they're trying to assassinate her at the Pride Parade.
Our favorite Scots-Irish wants you to know that the kilts are not too warm. I think I understand what he's saying.
That's why you got to go to the Highlands. That's where I want to go. I want to go to the Highlands.
The big problem here,
find me a Scotsman in the Highlands,
and where a lot of this argument comes into play, and why it's so debated at this point, is because Aaron Rodgers has been very vocal about the fact that he not only did not take the vaccine, but he took ivermectin as well. And he is very tight with Joe Rogan. And he has been very adamant that there are alternatives to the vaccine. And of course, Jimmy Kimmel was somebody who said everybody must take the vaccine and get their boosters and advocated for it. And why would Jimmy Kimmel have been such a huge advocate for endless medical use? Because
Pfizer?
His show is sponsored by Pfizer, among other people.
Oh my goodness.
So which is all these major corporations that contribute to these late night television shows.
Just understand you could be mean about Aaron Rodgers. First of all, those puppy dog eyes. Okay. First of all, I do love quarterbacks, but like he's particularly yummy. But I don't understand how anybody could be so upset. Although then again, I don't understand how people can hate me for what I think when I have no power to do anything about it either. So I don't understand that.
Well, the other thing that's so amazing that I don't think people really recognize is that when you listen to what his teammates say about him, you would think that if Aaron Rodgers was so off the wall, that he didn't know anything, that he was completely out of sight, out of mind with his opinions and how he treats people, his teammates love him. And he hasn't played at all this year.
I love him.
He is beloved in his locker room. So as far as I'm concerned,
loved right here.
It would. I'm a Giants fan. I can't give.
I don't care. I like quarterbacks.
The real issue is the fact that he went on the Pat McAfee Show, which is on ESPN, which is a part of the ABC broadcasting, controlled and owned by Disney. So as a result,
follow the money.
So as a result, Aaron Rodgers makes this statement on Pat McAfee's show. Jimmy Kimmel blows a gasket.
Loses it.
And now I'm not even going to tell you until after I play this clip, but you get the idea as to what the results have been because Jimmy Kimmel and the higher-ups were not too happy with what Aaron Rodgers had to say.
Oh my God, what we do know is the guy that stopped by yesterday caused quite a conversation.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit.
Now.
Per usual.
Not like that.
Yeah.
So Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, season 4 is done.
Yeah. Complete season.
There's going to be a lot of people that are happy with that, myself included, to be honest. With the way it ended, it got real loud. And real loud. I'm happy that is not going to be my mentions going forward, which is great news. We're a conversation show. People are having conversations. We live in a country that has freedom of speech, but also you're going to have to deal with the consequences of your freedom of speech. So what I'm saying is we've given a lot of people who've been waiting for us to fail a lot of ammo and things to attack us for over the last week. And we would love to get back to the point where we just move on and continue to silence all the haters over here who can't negotiate as good as I can, all the people over here who can't create a show as good as us, and all the people up here who are just going to always be here, and they're going to hustle and do their thing, which I respect. But we need to do that, and that is our focus. That is our goal. And Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Famer. He's a 4-time MVP. He's a massive piece of the NFL story. Whenever you go back and tell it, he will be a huge part of it. We are very lucky to get a chance to chat with him and learn from him. Some of his thoughts and opinions, though, do piss off A lot of people.
A lot of people.
And I'm pumped that is no longer going to be every single Wednesday of my life, which it has been for the last few weeks. On Friday, obviously, I threw us into the fire as well. Forever stand by that. Everything else, though, just can't do that and not what we want to be known for. And I'm also pumped that I don't have to do these types of talks anymore. So with that being said, sports are alive right now.
Okay, so it's just another example of somebody wanting to just put their head in the sand and just stick with sports and not get involved in anything and not take a stand on anything. That's what that sounded like to me. Somebody rambling on and on and on from whatever their corporate donor told his boss to tell him to say.
You better tell him to shut up. And of course, this gets back to the whole issue of, and this brings the whole show full circle. Now, on the one hand, you've got Governor DeSantis and the GOP saying we are going to censor your dictionaries. And then you have the Democrat establishment telling a sports/talk show that they can't talk to Aaron Rodgers because he has opinions that we don't like. So we have to censor you now.
We can't talk to Aaron Rodgers because he has an opinion we don't like.
What's going to happen when Aaron Rodgers, and you know he's going to come back and he's going to have a great season next year, and they are going to and listen,
they'll talk to him then. Of course
there are
will.
People that are going to try not to talk to him.
No, they'll still talk to him. If it would get ratings, they'll talk to him because at the end of the day, that's all they care about. That's the truth. They don't have principles. They have donors and they have ratings, and that's it. They have numbers. And the numbers tell them to do this, they do this. They have no opinions. They have no morals. They don't have anything. They have numbers and ratings.
He's at Metalopoly. He's absolutely right. It didn't piss off a lot of people. It pissed off Jimmy Kimmel, who has some power, and then the people above Jimmy Kimmel who really didn't like what Aaron Rodgers had to say.
All I can say is Jimmy Kimmel, I really never had much of an opinion on him one way or the other, and now I look at him as sackless.
JD, I definitely remember the Man Show from the late 90s, early 2000s, and that was with Adam Carolla, and he was the biggest misogynist, chauvinist you could possibly try to be. Now, of course, it was all done in jest, but you cannot.
That stuff doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me either. It
shouldn't bother you because you're a man.
No,
but it doesn't bother me.
Listen, women being abused and heckled is bad. I'm not denying that.
Humor is humor. Dice made fun of everybody. It was all funny.
And when athletes say anything progressive, they tell them to shut up and play ball. That is correct. And again, this is what happens when you go off the reservation. And that could be on both sides. It doesn't matter because economic populism, whether it's left or right, granted, we're on the left, but never deny that when you have a thought that is in any way going against the grain of what the corporate funded establishment wants, they will rain holy hell on you in more ways than you could possibly imagine. Now, does Aaron Rodgers care? No. In fact, this is only going to make Aaron Rodgers more popular as a result, as it should. Now, somebody like Jimmy Kimmel, is he going to suffer any consequences for basically being a complete hack? Probably not.
Well, he's a pussy in my eyes now. I can't be the only one. Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.